Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, September 9th, 2024. Today we're going to recap the football games from yesterday, look ahead to tonight's game between the Jets and the Niners, college football from the weekend, WNBA, MLB, soccer, tennis, NASCAR, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with football, NFL obviously. We'll go over the results from yesterday, look ahead to tonight's game. So, Bills over the Cardinals 34-28. Bills 1-0, Cards 0-1. Josh Allen 18-23, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyler Murray 21-31, 162 yards and a touchdown. That was a fun game. Patriots over the Bills 16-10. Patriots a surprising 1-0, Bengals 0-1. Everyone and their mother took Cincinnati in their survivor pool, and everybody's out, including yours truly. Jacoby Brissett, 15-24, 121 yards, and Joe Burrow, 21 of 29, 164 yards. Bears over the Titans, 24-17. Bears 1-0, Titans 1-0. Caleb Williams was not good. They won in spite of him. I'm sorry. 14-29, 93 yards. Will Levis, 19-32, 127 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions, including the pick six that gave the Bears the lead. Vikings over the Giants, 28-6. Vikes 1-0, Giants 0-1. Sam Darnold was okay, 19-24, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Daniel Jones, was not good, as we know. 22-42, 186 yards, and 2 picks. Saints over the Panthers, 47-10. Saints 1-0, Panthers 0-1. Derek Carr, 19-23, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bryce Young, 13-3, 161 yards, and 2 interceptions. Steelers over the Falcons, 18-10. Steelers 1-0, Falcons 0-1. Justin Fields, 17-23, 156 yards. Kirk Cousins, 16-26, 155 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Dolphins over the Chargers, 20-17, on a game-ending field goal by Jason Sanders. Miami 1-0, Jacksonville 0-1. Tua Tagovailoa, 23-37, 338 yards, and a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, 12 of 21, 160 yards, and a touchdown. Texans over the Colts, 29-27. Houston 1-0, Colts 0-1. C.J. Stroud, 24-32, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Anthony Richardson, 9-19, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. And on the ground, 6 for 56 and a touchdown. Chargers over the Raiders, 22-10. Chargers 1-0, Raiders 0-1. Justin Herbert, 17-26, 144 yards, and a touchdown. And Gardner Minshew, 25-33, 257 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Seahawks over the Broncos, 26-20. Seahawks 1-0, Broncos 0-1. Geno Smith, 18-25, 171 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Bo Nix, 26-42, 138 yards, and 2 picks. Cowboys over the Browns, 33-17. Cowboys 1-0, Browns 0-1. Dak Prescott, 19-32, 179 yards, and a touchdown. And Deshaun Watson, 24-45, 169 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Buccaneers over the Commanders, 37-20. Bucks 1-0, Commanders 0-1. Baker Mayfield, 24-3, 289 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He was very good. He silenced a lot of people in that one game. And Jaden Daniels, 17-24, 184 yards. And on Sunday night, best game of the night, Lions over the Rams, 26-20 in overtime. Lions 1-0, Rams 0-1. Jared Goff, 18-28, 217 yards, a touchdown, the pick. And Matt Stafford, 34-49, 317 yards, a touchdown, and the pick. All right, tonight, 8:15, ESPN and ABC, Jets 49ers, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman on the call with Lisa Salters. It's going to be a really fun game. I'm so excited for this. This is a game that I think is must-see TV. My projection is 49ers by 2.5 with the injury to the safety, Hufanga. Total 42 and a 20th, and it's 3.5 and 43.5. My numbers are so close. I'm going to bet the Jets at plus 166 to win. But the pick I'm going to give out for the podcast is under 43.5. I just think that this is like a 23-20 game. If not, maybe 20-17, 21, 16, 20-16. It's going to be low scoring. So I'm going to give out the under, although I am betting the Jets at plus 166 as well, because I just think that they have a good shot to win the game. All right, now move on to college football. Interesting weekend in college football as well. Going to get to the results. So Friday, Indiana over Western Illinois, 77-3. BYU over SMU, 18-15, so best bet lost. And Duke over Northwestern, 26-20 in double overtime. Saturday, number 3 Texas over number 10 Michigan, 31-12. Number 8 Penn State over Bowling Green, 34-27. Number 16 Oklahoma State over Arkansas, 39-31 in double overtime. Number 17 Kansas State over Tulane, 34-27. Syracuse over number 23 Georgia Tech, 31-28. Minnesota over Rhode Island, 48-0. Rutgers over Akron, 49-17. Pitt over Cincy, 28-27. UConn over Merrimack, 63-17. Memphis over Troy, 38-17. Army over FAU, 24-7. Texas A&M over McNeese, 52-10. Number 1 Georgia over Tennessee Tech, 48-3. Ball State over Missouri State, 42-34. St. Fran PA over Kent State, 23-17. UNLV over Utah Tech, 72-14. Northern Illinois over number 5 Notre Dame, 16-14. Number 11 Utah over Baylor, 23-12. Iowa State over number 21 Iowa, 20-19. Number 22 Louisville over Jacksonville State, 49-14. Cal over Auburn, 21-14. South Carolina over Kentucky, 31-6. Michigan State upsets Maryland, 27-24. Washington beats Eastern Michigan, 30-9. Wisconsin over South Dakota, 27-13. Toledo over UMass, 38-23. BC over Duquesne, 56-0. North Carolina over Charlotte, 38-20. Idaho over Wyoming, 17-13. Navy over Temple, 38-11. Texas State over UTSA, 49-10. Number 6 Ole Miss over Middle Tennessee, 52-3. Virginia Tech over Marshall, 31-14. Number 12 Miami over Florida A&M, 56-9. West Virginia over Albany, 49-14. FIU over Central Michigan, 52-16. JMU over Gardner-Webb, 13-6. East Carolina over Old Dominion, 20-14. Ohio over South Alabama, 27-20. Number 4 Alabama over South Florida, 42-16. Number 9 Missouri over Buffalo, 38-0. Illinois upsets number 19 Kansas, 23-17. Florida over Sanford, 45-7. Coastal Carolina over William and Mary, 40-21. Western Kentucky over Eastern Kentucky, 31-0. Georgia State over Chattanooga, 24-21. Stanford over Cal Poly, 41-7. Virginia over Wake Forest, 31-30. Louisiana over Kennesaw State, 34-10. San Jose State over Air Force, 17-7. Colorado State over Northern Colorado, 38-17. Georgia Southern over Nevada, 2017. Arkansas State over Tulsa, 28-24. UL Monroe over UAB, 32-6. Southern Miss over Southeast Louisiana, 35-10. Rice over Texas Southern, 69-7. UCF over Sam Houston, 45-14. Number 2 Ohio State over Western Michigan, 56-0. Number 14 Tennessee over number 24 NC State, 51-10. Boy, was I wrong about that game. Number 18 LSU over Nichols, 44-21. Vandy over Alcorn State, 55-0. Nebraska over Colorado, 28-10. North Texas over Stephen F. Austin, 35-20. Number 15 Oklahoma over Houston, 16-12. Number 25 Clemson over Appalachian State, 66-20. TCU over LIU, 45-0. Southern Utah over UTEP, 27-24 in overtime. Number 7 Oregon over Boise State, 37-34. Number 20 Arizona over Northern Arizona, 22-10. Wazoo over Texas Tech, 37-16. Fresno State over Sac State, 46-30. Liberty over New Mexico State, 30-24. Arizona State over Mississippi State, 30-23. Oregon State over San Diego State, 21-0. And number 13 USC destroys Utah, 48-0. Now move on to baseball. We'll go over the results from the weekend and look ahead to today. We'll start with Friday. Yankees over the Cubs, 3-0. Rockies over the Brewers, 3-2. Nats Pirates postponed makeup date was Saturday. O's over the Rays, 2-0. Red Sox over the White Sox, 3-1. Mets over the Reds, 6-4-10 on a walk-off home run by Mark Vientos. Phillies over the Marlins, 16-2. Braves over the Blue Jays, 3-1. Angels over the Rangers, 5-1. Astros over the D-backs 8-0. Royals over the Twins 5-0. Mariners over the Cardinals 6-1. A's over the Tigers 7-6 and 13 on a walk-off single by Seth Brown. Padres over the Giants 5-1. Guardians over the Dodgers 3-1. Saturday. Nats over the Pirates 5-3. Rays over the O's 7-1. Yankees over the Cubs 2-0. Tigers over the A's 2-1. Astros over the D-backs 11-5. Mets over the Reds 4-0. Marlins over the Phillies 9-5. Doubleheader game 2. Nats over the Pirates 8-6. Rangers over the Angels 6-4. Brewers over the Rockies 5-2. The Red Sox over the White Sox 7-5. Royals over the Twins 4-2. Cards over the Mariners 2-0. Jays over the Braves 9-5. Giants over the Padres 6-3. And the Dodgers over the Guardians 7-2. And then yesterday, Rays over the O's 2-0. White Sox over the Red Sox 7-2. Braves over the Blue Jays 4-3 and 11 on a walk-off single for fielder's choice by Sean Murphy. That was a big win for them. Pirates over the Nats 7-3. Reds over the Mets 3-1. Marlins over the Phillies 10-1. Rockies over the Brewers 4-1. Royals over the Twins 2-0. Mariners over the Cardinals 10-4. Cubs over the Yankees 2-1. Rangers over the Angels 7-4. Tigers over the A's 9-1. Dodgers over the Guardians 4-0. Giants over the Padres 7-6. And the D-backs over the Astros 12-6 on Sunday Night Baseball. All right, not a lot of games. Tonight, 6:30, you have the Marlins at the Pirates. Valente, Beloso, and Paul Skeens. Pirates minus 260, Marlins plus 215, over under 7.5, overs minus 122, unders even money. Marlins plus 1.5 is plus 105, Pirates minus 1.5 is minus 126. All right, this is a Paul Skeens bet, but I'm taking the under at even money. Rays Phillies, Cole Sulser and Chris Sanchez. Phils minus 122, Rays plus 168, over under 8, overs even money, unders minus 122. Rays plus 1.5 is minus 134, Phils minus 1.5 plus 112. So I'm going to do an interesting one. I'm going to do under 7.5 runs, minus 104. Makeup game from July 24th between the Reds and the Braves. Nick Martinez and Charlie Morton. Braves minus 158, Reds plus 134, over under 8.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 156, Braves minus 1.5 is plus 130. I'm going to take the Reds outright, plus 134. 7 o'clock, Royals Yankees from the Bronx, Brady Singer and Carlos Rodon. Yanks minus 178, Royals plus 150, over under 8.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 140, Yanks minus 1.5 plus 116. All right, people are going to hate me. I'm taking KC at plus 150. Brady Singer's been better than Carlos Rodon, but Carlos Rodon's super overpriced, and Brady Singer's really good. So I'm going to take Brady Singer and the Royals at plus 150 outright to knock off the Yankees. Mets Blue Jays. Paul Blackburn and Chris Bassett. Jays minus 104, Mets minus 112, over under 8.5, overs minus 122, unders even money. Mets minus 1.5 plus 134. Jays plus 1.5 is minus 162. I'm taking the Mets in the bounce back spot, minus 112. O's Red Sox. Cade Povich and Brian Balow. Red Sox minus 118. O's even money, over under 9.5. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. O's minus 1.5 is plus 155. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 188. I like the over, where I like a side. 7:30 Fox Sports 1 Angels Twins. Reed Detmers and David Festa. Twins minus 188. Angels plus 158, over under 8, minus 110 each way. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 140. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 116. I like the over a lot in that game. Guardians White Sox. Joey Cantillo and TBD. Guardians minus 240. White Sox plus 198. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 128. Unders plus 104. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 1 or minus 140. White Sox plus 1.5 is plus 116. I'm going. Oh, the alternates aren't there. I want to go with the over 9.5. Oh well. That's what I'm going to do, and that comes out, that would be the pick. All over 9.5 at the number at plus money. And then 10 o'clock, Cubs, Dodgers, Kyle Hendricks, and Walker Buehler. Dodgers minus 188, Cubs plus 158, over under 9.5, minus 10 each way. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 126. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 104. I'm going to give out the over, but it won't be my best bet. All right, now we'll go on to the WNBA. We'll go over the results from the weekend. And we do not have games tonight. All right. Friday, Dream over the Wings, 107-96 in overtime. Aces over the Suns, 72-67. Lynx over the Fever, 99-88. Sky over the Sparks, 92-78. Saturday, Storm over the Mercury, 90-66. Sunday, Lynx over the Lynx over the Mystics, 78-71. Liberty over the Aces, 75-71. Fever over the Dream, 100 in overtime. Sky over the Wings, 92-77. And the Sun over the Sparks, 79-67. So no WNBA until Tuesday. All right, now move on to soccer. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to anything today. We'll start with Nations League. Belarus over Luxembourg, 1-0. Oh, that was yesterday. So we'll do Friday first. Kazakhstan and Norway, 0-0 draw. Cyprus over Lithuania, 1-0. Wales, Turkey, 0-0 draw. Iceland over Montenegro, 2-0. Romania over Kosovo, 3-0. Slovenia, Austria, 1-1 draw. Belgium over Israel, 3-1. Italy over France, 3-1. Saturday, Faroe Islands and North Macedonia, 1-1 draw. Armenia over Latvia, 4-1. Georgia over Czech Republic, 4-1. Moldova over Malta, 2-0. England over Republican Ireland, 2-0. Dutch over Bosnia-Herzegovina, 5-2. Greece over Finland, 3-0. Germany over Hungary, 5-0. And Albania over Ukraine, 2-1. I already mentioned Belarus over Luxembourg, 1-0. Bulgaria over Northern Ireland, 1-0. Denmark over Serbia, 2-0. Slovakia over Azerbaijan, 2-0. Gibraltar and Liechtenstein, 2-2 draw. Spain over Switzerland, 4-1. Sweden over Estonia, 3-0. Croatia over Poland, 1-0. And Portugal over Scotland, 2-1. All right. Today at noon, you have Cyprus and Kosovo. Let's see if this is on the... Yep. Kosovo minus 120, Cyprus plus 330, draw plus 220. I'm going to do over 2.5 goals plus 126. 245, Israel, Italy. Italy minus 350, Israel plus 750, draw plus 440. I'm going to go with Italy for the win. But under 2.5 goals plus 120. France, Belgium. France minus 125, Belgium plus 340, draw plus 250. France should win. I'm going under 2.5 goals at minus 108. Montenegro, Wales. Wales plus 105. Montenegro plus 260. Draw 2-1. I'm going to go with Wales at plus 105, but I don't feel good about it. Turkey, Iceland. Turkey minus 330. Iceland 5-1. The draw's plus 330. I'm going to do under 2.5 goals at plus 102. Romania and Lithuania. Romania minus 48. Lithuania is 12-1. The draw's plus 450. Under 2.5 goals minus 112. And Norway, Austria. Norway plus 115. Austria 2-1. The draw's plus 230. I'm going to go with Norway at plus 115. All right, and then we also have a couple of other stuff to discuss from the weekend. We forgot about MLS on the podcast last weekend, but there wasn't a lot of games. There was only 6. Seattle over Columbus 4-0. New England St. Louis 2-2 draw. Red Bulls KC 1-1 draw. DC United over Chicago 2-1. LAFC Houston 0-0 draw. And Vancouver Dallas 0-0 draw. But I also want to We have CONCACAF Nations League. 4 o'clock, we have Guadalupe and Suriname. Suriname plus 130, Guadalupe plus 165, draw plus 250. I'm going to go with Guadalupe at plus 165. Martinique and Guyana. Martinique minus 115, Guyana is plus 260, draw plus 270. Go with Martinique at minus 115. Guatemala, Costa Rica. This is Group A. Costa Rica plus 145, Guatemala plus 190. The draw is 2-1. I'm going to go with Costa Rica at plus 145. And then Group B, Haiti and St. Marin. Haiti is minus 6,000. St. Marin is plus 6,000. The draw is 17-1. I'm going to do... I'm going to do 3-0 Haiti. That's 5-1. Correct score. Aruba, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico minus 380. Aruba's plus 750. The draw's plus 490. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 112. And then Grenada, St. Lucia, also at 8. Grenada plus 110, St. Lucia plus 230, draw plus 240. Going with Grenada at plus 110. Africa Cup of Nations qualifying. 9 o'clock is Burundi and Senegal. 11 o'clock, Equatorial Guinea and Togo. Nigeria, Ghana. Noon, Madagascar and Comoros. Uganda and Congo. 2 o'clock, Lesotho and Morocco. 3 o'clock, Angola and Sudan. And Ethiopia and Congo DR. So there you have it for soccer. Now move on to the U.S. Open. We had the finals over the weekend. We'll start with the men's. So the semifinals, 12-seed Taylor Fritz over 20-seed Francis Tiafoe in 5 sets, and 1-seed Jannik Sinner over 25-seed Jack Draper in 3 sets, and then your final, the men's 1-seed Jannik Sinner over 12-seed Taylor Fritz in 3 sets. So congrats to Jannik Sinner for winning the U.S. Open. And on the women's side, you had 2-seed Arena Sablenka over 6-seed Jessica Pegula in 2 sets. So congrats to Arena Sablenka. So you had your 1-seed in the men's side and your 2-seed in the women's side. So congrats to those players. And I don't think we're going to have a big tennis thing again until the winter. So that was fun. The U.S. Open. A lot of crazy stuff went down there. All right. NASCAR from the weekend. They raced from Atlanta. Xfinity went Saturday, and the winner of that race was Austin Hill. Coming in second was Parker Kligerman. Third, AJ Allmendinger. Fourth, Chandler Smith. Fifth, Corey Heim. Sixth, Jesse Love. Seventh, Sammy Smith. Eighth, Josh Williams. Ninth, Brandon Jones. 10th, Ryan Truex. The rest, Kyle Weatherman, Parker Retzlaff, Lawless Allen, Anthony Alfredo, Brennan Poole, Kyle Sieg, Hollis Honeyman, Mason Maggio, Blaine Perkins, Nick Leitz, Ryan Ellis, David Starr, Garrett Smithley, Jeb Burton, Sheldon Creed, Riley Herbst, Jane Van Gisbergen, Taylor Gray, Jeremy Clemens, Justin Algier, Cole Custer, Ryan Sieg, Morgan Baird, CJ McLaughlin, Matthew Mendetto, Sam Meyer, and Dawson Cram. And then, Cup Series. Your winner, Joey Logano. Second, Daniel Suarez. Third, Ryan Blaney. Fourth, Chris Bell. Fifth, Alex Bowman. Sixth, Tyler Reddick. Seventh, Kyle Busch. Eighth, Chris Elliott. Or Chase Elliott. Why did I say Chris Elliott? I had Chris Bell in my head. Ninth, William Byron. 10th, Austin Cindric. The rest, Daniel Hemrick, Justin Haley, Ross Chastain, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Corey LaJoie, Carson Hosfart, Ty Gibbs, Ryan Preece, Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon, Zane Smith, Michael McDowell, J.J. Yeley, Denny Hamlin, B.J. McLeod, Eric Jones, Todd Gilliland, Josh Berry, Bubba Wallace, Cody Ware, Harrison Burton, Shane Van Gisbergen, John Hunter Nemechek, Noah Gragson, Martin Truex Jr., Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson, and Chase Briscoe. So there you have it for Cup next weekend is Watkins Glen in New York for Xfinity and Cup. The trucks don't go for another 10 days at Bristol. So that's important. And then obviously the Formula One will be over the weekend coming up. All right, now move on to the news and notes for today. A lot of things to get to. The biggest story of the weekend: Jordan Love is going to be out for several weeks as he suffers an MCL sprain. That is not good news for the Packers. That he's going to miss some time. Now the question is, will they sign somebody, or will they ride with Malik Willis? Because quarterbacks get hurt all the time, it feels like nowadays. And it's just unfortunate that for him that he got hurt. So that was the biggest injury, obviously, of the weekend. So former Michigan staffer is now a high school coach. Connor Stallions is now a high school head coach. His team lost 60-0 in the opener. Big NBA news from the weekend: Jamal Murray gets a 4-year, $208 million extension to stay with the Nuggets. So that's good for them. And the other big contract extension that was given out right before the game started. Dak Prescott, $240 million, 4-year deal. $231 million guaranteed. So good job by the Dallas Cowboys for getting that done. And they go out and impress in their game against the Browns. Kendrick Lamar will be headlining the Super Bowl halftime in New Orleans this year. This, to me, is somewhat of a surprise pick. I wasn't expecting that at all. He announced it yesterday on social media. Good for him. And now the question is, will there be anybody joining him? Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be like Miley Cyrus. I mean, I know the league was probably trying their best to get Travis Kelce's girlfriend, but you knew that wasn't going to happen. I don't think Taylor wants to do it, but I thought potentially Miley Cyrus, or if they wanted to go with somebody like an older person, like maybe Elton John or Billy Joel or somebody like that. But it's a lot of like these younger, newer artists that have been getting this lately. But I think the person that deserved it, but if he was offered, he probably declined, is Justin Bieber. And I feel like he declined because he just became a father. So that would have been my choice. I would have picked either Miley Cyrus or Justin Bieber. But instead it's Kendrick Lamar. So tonight begins a new era of Wheel of Fortune as Ryan Seacrest will take over for the retired Pat Sajak and join Vanna White. So it's going to be fun to see how the Ryan Seacrest era of Wheel of Fortune goes. They were doing their rounds today in New York with Good Morning America and Live with Kelly and Mark. Ironically enough, that's Ryan's old show. But, yeah, they're doing their rounds today, so we're looking forward to that. So Justin Verlander was asked about his rough stretch over his last 6 appearances. 8.78 ERA. Not great. But meanwhile, he's going to pitch lights out against the Yankees in the playoffs and forget that ever happened. NFL executives ripped Deion Sanders as he's accused of just really promoting his son at Colorado. I don't think they're wrong. In Nebraska, fans were taunting at Shader Sanders. There's loud FCU chants. Giants fans were booing Daniel Jones as he was heckled post-game after the Week 1 loss to the Vikings, which doesn't surprise me at all, because that's how this generation is now. And then Brian Daboll says that benching Daniel Jones is not in his mind. I think it will be in his mind in a couple weeks. I think they're just giving him some time only because he's coming off that injury. And that's the only thing I can come up with. And he barely even played in the preseason. And neither did a lot of the Giant starters. None of the Giant guys really played in the preseason either. I mean, Minnesota's guys all played in the preseason. Not that preseason results matter or anything, but... and yeah, people look at it as an excuse to defend your team. But it's reality sometimes. Sometimes, I'm not saying this about the Giants. This is more for teams like the Cincinnati Bengals, for instance. If you didn't play in the preseason, then the first couple months of the season is kind of like the preseason. So, that's just a good example of that. But, I don't think the Giants are any good, obviously. But, it's important to note for a team like Cincinnati and a team like even the Rams to some degree, and Atlanta, that if you barely played in the preseason, then you may look rusty early in the season. That's why I don't think the Niners are going to win tonight against the Jets. Although you can make the same case for the Jets, but the Niners had all that turmoil in the offseason, and everyone's just getting back. So, before the Dolphins took the field against the Jaguars, Tyreek Hill got arrested. And it was crazy. Because I feel like things like this tend to happen more often than not, because we saw that with Scotty Scheffler in golf. And was that before the Masters? Why do I feel like that was before the Masters? But yes, Tyreek Hill wound up getting arrested before the game as he was detained by police. As he got released after an alleged driving violation, and that officer was placed on administrative duties after incident. So that's crazy. So yeah, the Sunday before the games is always crazy with stories, and then there's always the one big story that comes out on the Sunday before the game, and it involves Bill Belichick, as apparently it's a matter of when, not if, he comes back, as he's expected to be choosy if and when he returns to the sideline. That's according to Adam Schefter. Hassan Reddick likely out against the Niners, as He's ready to die on his sword amid contract holdout. And then they're fining him for missing the game. Jamar Chase played against the Patriots yesterday despite the contract stuff. The Packers spoke with Ryan Tannehill as they reached out to him after Jordan Love injury. No deal in place yet. And then Justin Fields started over Russell Wilson yesterday as they felt playing Russell Wilson with the calf injury was too risky. The 49ers gave Brandon Ayuk ultimatum as Kyle Shanahan made Ayuk decide between San Francisco and the Steelers. Davis Bertans picks Dubai over the Warriors. The Red Sox activated Trevor Story off the IL against the White Sox. Big loss for the Mets. Jeff McNeil done for the year with the wrist injury. Not great. Yankees pitcher Nestor Cortez upset about relief role as he was not happy about pitching out of the bullpen against the Cubs on Saturday. Well, guess what? The Yankees are healthy in their rotation now, so somebody is going to be coming out of the bullpen, and that should be Nestor Cortez, who's been their worst starter this season. I know everyone says it's been Carlos Rodon, but Cortez was worse. And Rodon, I feel like, was better at points this season than Cortez. So that's why I say Cortez deserved the, All right, so the AP poll was out. I'm going to look at that really quickly. So 1 through 5, Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, Bama, Ole Miss. 6 through 10, Missouri, Tennessee, Penn State, Oregon, Miami. 11 through 15, Miami, USC, Utah, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Oklahoma. 16 through 20, LSU, Michigan, Notre Dame, Louisville, Arizona. LSU, Michigan, Notre Dame, Louisville, Arizona. And 21 through 25 is Iowa State, Clemson, Nebraska, BC, NIU. So NIU gets ranked because of the Notre Dame win. Guess who's betting against Northern Illinois next week, probably? Yours truly. And then others receiving votes: Illinois, Boise, A&M, Syracuse, Memphis, Washington, Iowa, Kansas, Vandy, South Carolina, Liberty, Wisconsin, UNLV, North Carolina, Cal, BYU, TCU, UCF. Then dropping from the rankings was Kansas, Iowa, Georgia Tech, and NC State. But yeah, the video of Tyreek getting detained got released. Here's an ugly stat about Giants quarterback Daniel Jones. Since signing the $160 million deal, he has more pick sixes than touchdowns. I mean, that is an ugly stat, but I think that's based off of not throwing a touchdown pass yesterday, and in the half of the games he played he only played half the season last season, and he barely threw any touchdown passes. So, small-ish sample size, but it's embarrassing, nevertheless. David Njoku might have an ankle sprain as he's done to go testing after the injury against the Cowboys. Puka Nacua left the game with a knee injury. That's not great. Bucs defensive back Bryce Hall broke his leg, suffered a dislocated right ankle and fractured fibula against the Commanders. That's not good. Jordan Addison left the game against the Giants yesterday with the ankle injury. Josh Allen says the hand is fine as he'll probably get x-rays after suffering injury on touchdown run. Jake Ferguson avoided an ACL tear as he's to have an MRI tomorrow on injured knee. Ricky Pearsall likely returns week 5 against the Cardinals. Wow, that's crazy. DeAndre Hopkins played yesterday despite the MCL tear, and they're doing like a doing a workload with him. CMC's opener for tonight questionable for tonight against the Jets. And Aaron Donald, his Instagram story, he doesn't seem to be coming out of retirement. There's someone that predicted that. Oh, this is weird. Calais Campbell was also handcuffed, as he reveals he was also put in handcuffs after he tried to get involved with the Tyreek situation. Pat Surtain responds to a fan who called out Bo Nix. Caleb Williams is the first number 1 overall quarterback pick to win debut since 2002. I said this earlier. They won in spite of him because he stunk, but they won because of defense and special teams. So there you have it for the news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I think I'm going to take a chance and go with soccer for best bet. So, Fat Fives over the weekend did pretty good. 3-2 in each sport. And I'm going to go to international. And I am going to go with Granada against St. Lucia. I'm going to do a 20th of a unit on the pick. So Granada plus 110 against St. Lucia for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look ahead to everything. Tomorrow we'll do a portfolio pick. I might do another round of NFL Power Rankings and then maybe a little overreactions from week 1 to see what turns out to be true and not true, which I really enjoy doing. So hope you guys have a great day, everybody.